All right, so you want to know if AI-driven blockchain security is a good investment.
Well,
Yeah, makes sense. It's a hot
it
topic.
is.
Um, we've gone ahead. We've got some expert opinions and articles for you to look at.
Right.
And hopefully by the end of this deep dive, you'll know a little bit more about what's going on because it's a lot.
Yeah, there's huge potential, but like all things, still early days.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
not without its risks.
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, your question comes at a really interesting time because we're seeing blockchains, DeFi, NFTs, cross-chain systems, all getting really complex.
Yeah.
And that complexity introduces vulnerabilities.
It's like building a high-tech vault, but it's got cracks in the foundation.
Yeah,
Our sources definitely highlight how, traditional security measures aren't really built for this level of complexity that we're seeing now.
totally. And that's where AI comes in.
Okay.
Imagine a security system that can analyze mountains of data to predict threats in real time and can adapt as quickly as the space is moving.
Okay, so it sounds impressive, but how does it actually work? Can it really keep up with the speed of something like, a flash loan attack?
Right, that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
You mentioned flash loan attacks. Remember those reentrancy attacks that cost DeFi projects millions of dollars?
Oh, yeah.
So these attacks highlighted the need for, more dynamic and intelligent security measures, and AI offers tools that can potentially mitigate these risks.
Okay, so instead of just reacting after the attack has happened, AI can help us anticipate it.
Yeah, in theory, yes.
Okay.
One of the ways it does this is through what's called formal verification.
Okay.
And imagine being able to prove mathematically that a smart contract does exactly what it's designed to do and nothing more.
Nothing more, nothing less.
That's right. And
That's huge.
yeah, especially in DeFi where, even a small vulnerability can have massive consequences.
Exactly. And so how does that work? How do you actually implement something like that?
Well, it's all about establishing trust.
Oh.
And this is where AI-powered formal verification could really be a game changer because it really could instill that trust.
Okay, awesome. So we've got AI preventing the next big blockchain heist.
Potentially.
Potentially, what other exciting security measures are being developed?
Well, another area that's showing a lot of promise is dynamic simulation and permutation testing.
Okay.
And this is where AI simulates countless scenarios to identify weaknesses before they're exploited.
Oh, so it's like an army of ethical hackers, but like way faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And because AI can process information so much faster than any human, it can test thousands, even millions of these potential attack vectors,
Wow.
giving
Wow.
developers a much clearer picture of, where the vulnerabilities lie.
That's wild. Okay, so it sounds like AI could revolutionize blockchain security, but
Yeah,
let's be realistic for a second here.
sure.
What are some of the challenges that developers are facing when they're building these solutions? What are the potential pitfalls for investors like our listeners?
You're right to, approach this with a healthy dose of realism, particularly when it comes to investments.
Yep.
One of the biggest hurdles, and this came up a lot in the articles you read, is the sheer complexity of modeling a blockchain ecosystem.
Right, because you're talking about a ton of data, millions of transactions, thousands of smart contracts,
Yeah.
all kind of working together in this decentralized way.
Right.
Can it even be modeled accurately?
It's a massive undertaking,
Yeah.
and it kind of feeds into another big challenge, which is data requirements.
Okay.
Because AI is only as good as the data it learns from, and the world of blockchain is still relatively new.
Right. It's like trying to train a self-driving car with nothing but hand-drawn maps.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need robust, high-quality data to build these AI-driven security solutions.
Okay. So even with the best algorithm, if the data's not there, it's just not going to work.
It's going to struggle.
Yeah.
I think there's also the issue of accuracy. Even with good data, AI systems can still generate false positives and false negatives.
Right. It's the classic boy who cried wolf problem.
Exactly.
If you do it too many times, people are going to start ignoring the real alarms.
Right. And if an AI security system is constantly flagging benign activities as suspicious, it undermines trust, and it just creates unnecessary panic.
For sure.
But if it misses a real threat,
Yeah.
the consequences can be disastrous.
Yeah. It's not good.
So finding that balance is really crucial.
It's a tightrope walk for sure. And I imagine that balancing act gets even trickier when you consider the speed at which blockchain operates.
Absolutely.
You can't have security at the cost of speed and efficiency, can you?
No, you can't, especially in something like DeFi,
Right.
where it relies on fast transaction speeds and smooth user experiences.
Yeah.
If a security solution slows down the system, it defeats the whole purpose.
Totally. Okay, so it's not just about effectiveness. It's about seamless integration and minimal performance impact. So investors should be looking for solutions that are going to enhance security without compromising the core functionality of the blockchain.
I think that's a good takeaway.
Now, speaking of investors, we had two perspectives in the material. We reviewed a seasoned VC and a blockchain-focused investor.
Right.
Let's unpack their insights a little bit. What were their takes on the potential of AI in blockchain security?
Well, the VC we read was very clear market differentiation is key.
Okay.
It's not enough to simply say we do AI in blockchain security.
Right.
The market is becoming increasingly competitive, and investors are looking for that edge, that special sauce that sets a company apart.
So they need to solve a specific problem in a way that others aren't.
Exactly. They need a clearly defined target market.
Okay.
They need a deep understanding of the competitive landscape
Uh-huh.
and a solution that provides real value.
Okay.
They want to see a well-thought-out strategy, not just a company chasing the latest buzzword.
Makes sense. You need a solid business plan, regardless of how revolutionary your tech is.
I think that's fair to say.
What about the blockchain investor? What were their thoughts?
They echoed that need for a strong business strategy, but they also highlighted the importance of community trust.
Okay.
In the blockchain space, it's not just about having a great product. It's about transparency, engagement, building relationships within the community.
That makes sense because blockchain thrives on decentralization and transparency.
Right.
So building that trust is essential, especially when we're talking about security.
Absolutely. And they also stress the importance of navigating the regulatory landscape, which is a bit of a moving target in the blockchain world.
Yeah, for sure. One misstep there could be fatal.
Indeed.
Okay, so we've got market differentiation, community trust, regulatory compliance.
That's a lot.
Sounds like investors have their work cut out for them.
It's not a game for amateurs. Due
Wow.
diligence is crucial.
And part of that due diligence has to involve evaluating the teams behind these startups, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Both the VC and the blockchain investor emphasize the importance of a strong founding team. They're looking for individuals with deep expertise in both AI and blockchain,
Makes sense.
who have a proven track record of success.
It's like they say, bet on the jockey, not the horse.
Right.
You could have the most innovative technology in the world, but without the right people at the helm, it's likely to fail.
I completely agree. Investors should look for passionate founders who not only understand the technology, but also have a strong business acumen and a clear vision for the future.
And they shouldn't be afraid to ask tough questions
No.
about the team's experience, their approach to security, their go-to-market strategy, and how they plan to navigate these ever-changing regulations.
Right. It's a lot to consider.
It is a lot to consider.
Yeah.
So for our listener who's considering investing in this space, what are the key takeaways?
Well, I think the potential of AI in blockchain security is undeniable,
Okay.
but it's not a guaranteed path to riches.
Right.
We're past the point where simply having AI in your company's name is enough to attract investors.
Right. You can't just slap a fancy label on something and expect it to work.
Exactly. Investors are savvier now,
Yeah.
doing their homework.
Yeah, they're doing their research.
They're looking for substance over hype.
Mhm.
They want to see real solutions to real problems, backed by solid teams, and a deep understanding of the technology and the market.
So it's about more than just the technology itself.
Yeah,
It's about the team, the market opportunity, the overall business strategy.
that's right.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
We've explored the potential of AI and blockchain security. We've discussed the challenges and hurdles, and we've even gotten some insights from experienced investors.
Right.
But I feel like there's one more layer to this onion that we need to peel back. But I feel like there's one more layer to this onion that we need to peel back.
Right.
We've talked about AI's potential to kind of revolutionize blockchain security.
Yeah.
But what about the security of AI itself? If we're entrusting these systems with protecting valuable digital assets,
Yeah.
how do we know that they are secure? How do we know that these systems can't be compromised or manipulated?
That's a question that keeps a lot of cybersecurity experts up at night.
Right.
And it's not just about protecting AI from external threats,
Okay.
but also about building safeguards into the technology itself.
So when you say safeguards, what are we talking about? What kind of safeguards?
Well, one area of focus is on developing AI systems that are transparent and auditable. So you can track how the AI system makes decisions
Okay.
and identify any potential biases or vulnerabilities in its code.
So it's about making sure that we understand how these AI systems are actually working.
Yeah, you've got to be able to lift the hood
Yeah.
and see what's going on under there.
especially if you're going to trust it with something as important as security.
Exactly, and it's not just about understanding how they work, but making sure they're working as intended.
Okay, how do you do that?
Well, this is where things like adversarial training come in.
Adversarial training.
Yeah. Like,
Essentially, it involves pitting an AI system against a version of itself
okay.
that's been designed to find and exploit its weaknesses.
Mm.
Oh, so it's like giving the AI a crash course in all the ways it could be compromised.
Exactly. You're training it against itself to make it stronger.
Wow. Okay, that's fascinating.
Yeah, and as AI systems become more sophisticated,
Yeah,
the methods used to secure them will have to evolve as well.
of
It's a
course.
constant arms race,
Right.
but it's one that's essential if we want to build trust in these technologies.
It sounds like a really fascinating but challenging area of research.
It definitely is.
Um, but shifting gears a moment, you mentioned earlier the importance of a strong founding team.
Yes.
What specific qualities should investors be looking for?
Well, domain expertise is critical, of course.
So,
You want a team that deeply understands both AI and blockchain technology.
right.
But beyond that, I look for individuals who are adaptable and forward-thinking,
Okay.
people who are constantly learning and evolving as the technology itself changes.
So it's not enough to just be an expert in the here and now. You've got to be able to anticipate the future.
Exactly. And that requires a certain mindset, a willingness to embrace uncertainty
Yeah.
and challenge conventional thinking.
Okay.
I also look for teams that are passionate about the problem they're solving,
Okay.
not just chasing the latest hype cycle.
Right. Because passion is important in any startup, but it seems especially crucial in a field as complex and rapidly evolving as AI-driven blockchain security.
Absolutely. Building a successful company in this space requires an immense amount of dedication, resilience,
Yeah,
and a genuine belief in the power of this technology to make a positive impact.
totally. So for our listener who, might be inspired to dive headfirst into this world,
Yeah.
what final piece of advice would you offer?
I would say do your research,
Oh,
ask tough questions, and remember that investing in this space is not without its risks.
right.
But if you believe in the power of this technology
Yeah,
and you find the right team with the right vision, the potential rewards could be significant.
that's a great note to end on.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the potential of AI and blockchain security. We've unpacked the challenges and opportunities, and we've even delved into the ethical considerations surrounding this rapidly evolving technology.
It's a complex landscape,
It is.
but it's one that's ripe with innovation and possibility.
And as always, dear listener, we leave the final analysis up to you. Do your own research,
Yeah.
talk to experts, and trust your gut. The future of AI and blockchain is still being written, and it's up to all of us to shape it responsibly. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and as always, keep diving deep.